Many organizations in industrial and commercial sectors implement the Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace, which is published by the National Fire Protection Association. This standard offers detailed guidelines for electrical safety within workplaces, encompassing requirements for electrical equipment, wiring, and installations, in addition to safe work practices and training protocols. The Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace is often used alongside the National Electrical Code, which serves as the minimum standard for electrical safety in the United States. The Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace provides more specific direction for ensuring electrical safety in workplace settings, and it is often regarded as a more thorough standard. There are several advantages to implementing the Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace. Firstly, it is designed to help ensure that electrical equipment and installations meet safety requirements and comply with relevant codes and standards. Secondly, it offers direction on implementing safe work practices, for example lockout-tagout procedures and electrical safety training. Thirdly, it is designed to contribute to minimizing the possibility of electrical incidents and injuries within the workplace. Numerous large industrial and commercial organizations maintain their own electrical safety programs, which often draw from the Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace as a foundational framework. These programs typically include protocols for electrical equipment inspections, maintenance schedules, and comprehensive training initiatives. Besides the Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace, a variety of supplementary resources are accessible to aid organizations in creating and putting into action robust electrical safety programs. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also known as OSHA, offers a range of resources pertaining to electrical safety. These resources include regulatory information, guidance documents, and training materials. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, also known as IABU, provides multiple resources focused on electrical safety, including training programs and pertinent materials. The National Electrical Contractors Association, also known as NECA, offers multiple resources regarding electrical safety, encompassing training programs and materials. By making effective use of these resources, organizations can better guarantee that their electrical systems are safe, up to code, and in compliance with relevant standards. Electrical safety in the workplace is not just a regulatory requirement, it is a critical component of a comprehensive safety program. Electrical hazards can cause severe injuries including burns, electric shock, arc flash, and even fatalities. A robust electrical safety program helps to identify, assess, and mitigate these hazards. The Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace, also known as NFPA 70E, provides a framework for developing and implementing such a program. It emphasizes a hierarchy of controls, starting with elimination or substitution of hazards, followed by engineering controls, administrative controls, and finally personal protective equipment. Elimination involves removing the electrical hazard altogether, which is the most effective control measure. Substitution involves replacing hazardous equipment or materials with safer alternatives. Engineering controls involve modifying the workplace or equipment to reduce the risk of electrical hazards. Examples include installing ground fault circuit interrupters, also known as GFCIs, and providing barriers or enclosures to prevent contact with energized parts. Administrative controls involve establishing safe work practices and procedures to minimize the risk of electrical hazards. These practices include lockout-tagout, which is a procedure for energizing equipment before working on it, and establishing clear boundaries for approaching energized equipment. Personal protective equipment, also known as PPE, is the last line of defense against electrical hazards. It includes items such as insulated gloves, arc flash suits, and safety glasses. It is important to select PPE that is appropriate for the specific electrical hazards present in the workplace. Training is a critical component of any electrical safety program. Employees must be trained to recognize electrical hazards, understand safe work practices, and use PPE properly. Training should be provided regularly and updated as needed to reflect changes in technology or regulations. Lockout-tagout procedures are essential for preventing accidental energization of equipment during maintenance or repair. These procedures involve disconnecting the equipment from its power source, locking the disconnect switch in the off position, and tagging the switch with a warning label. Only authorized employees should be allowed to perform lockout-tagout procedures. Arc flash is a dangerous electrical phenomenon that can occur when there is a short circuit in an electrical system. Arc flashes can generate extremely high temperatures and produce intense light and sound. Employees who work near energized electrical equipment must be protected from arc flash hazards. Arc flash protection can be achieved through a combination of engineering controls, administrative controls, and PP. Ground fault circuit interrupters, also known as GFCIs, are devices that protect against electric shock by detecting ground faults. A ground fault occurs when electricity flows through an unintended path to ground, such as through a person's body. GFCIs quickly interrupt the flow of electricity when a ground fault is detected, preventing serious injury or death. Electrical inspections are an important part of maintaining a safe electrical system. Regular inspections can help to identify potential hazards such as damaged wiring, overloaded circuits, and improperly grounded equipment. Inspections should be performed by qualified electrical personnel. The National Electrical Code, also known as NEC, provides comprehensive standards for electrical installations. Compliance with the National Electrical Code helps to ensure that electrical systems are safe and reliable. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also known as OSHA, enforces electrical safety regulations in the workplace. Employers who fail to comply with OSHA regulations can face significant fines and penalties. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, also known as IBU, is a labor union that represents electrical workers. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers provides training and resources to help its members work safely. The National Electrical Contractors Association, also known as NECA, is a trade association that represents electrical contractors. The National Electrical Contractors Association provides training and resources to help its members comply with electrical safety regulations. In addition to these organizations, there are many other resources available to help employers and employees promote electrical safety in the workplace. These resources include industry standards, training programs, and safety publications. By taking proactive steps to address electrical hazards, organizations can create a safer work environment for their employees and reduce the risk of electrical accidents and injuries. Firstly, conduct a comprehensive risk assessment to identify potential electrical hazards in the workplace. This assessment should involve a thorough review of electrical equipment, wiring, and work practices. Secondly, develop and implement a written electrical safety program that addresses the identified hazards. This program should include policies and procedures for safe work practices, lockout-tagout, arc flash protection, and electrical inspections. Thirdly, provide regular training to employees on electrical safety topics. This training should be tailored to the specific electrical hazards present in the workplace. Fourthly, ensure that all electrical equipment is properly maintained and inspected. Regular maintenance and inspections can help to identify and correct potential hazards before they cause an accident. Fifthly, enforce the use of personal protective equipment when working near energized electrical equipment. Personal protective equipment can provide a critical layer of protection against electrical hazards. Sixthly, use ground fault circuit interrupters in areas where there is a risk of electric shock. Ground fault circuit interrupters can prevent serious injury or death by quickly interrupting the flow of electricity in the event of a ground fault. Seventhly, comply with all applicable electrical codes and regulations. Compliance with electrical codes and regulations helps to ensure that electrical systems are safe and reliable. Eighthly, stay up to date on the latest electrical safety information and best practices. Electrical safety is a constantly evolving field, so it is important to stay informed about new technologies and regulations. Ninthly, promote a culture of safety in the workplace. A culture of safety encourages employees to report potential hazards and to take responsibility for their own safety and the safety of others. Tenthly, learn from past electrical accidents and incidents. Analyzing past accidents and incidents can help to identify areas where the electrical safety program can be improved. The Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace, also known as NFPA 70E, is a valuable resource for developing and implementing an effective electrical safety program. This standard provides detailed guidance on a wide range of electrical safety topics, including hazard identification, risk assessment, safe work practices, and personal protective equipment. The National Electrical Code, also known as NEC, is another important resource for electrical safety. This code provides comprehensive standards for electrical installations. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also known as OSHA, enforces electrical safety regulations in the workplace. Employers who fail to comply with OSHA regulations can face significant fines and penalties. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, also known as IBU, is a labor union that represents electrical workers. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers provides training and resources to help its members work safely. The National Electrical Contractors Association, also known as NECA, is a trade association that represents electrical contractors. The National Electrical Contractors Association provides training and resources to help its members comply with electrical safety regulations. By working together, employers, employees, and other stakeholders can create a safer work environment for everyone. Firstly, remember that electricity can be dangerous. Always treat electrical equipment with respect and follow safe work practices. Secondly, if you are not qualified to work on electrical equipment, do not attempt to do so. Call a qualified electrician. Thirdly, report any electrical hazards that you see to your supervisor. Fourthly, participate in electrical safety training programs. Fifthly, use personal protective equipment when working near energized electrical equipment. Sixthly, follow lockout-tagout procedures when working on the energized electrical equipment. Seventhly, be aware of arc flash hazards and take steps to protect yourself. Eighthly, use ground fault circuit interrupters in areas where there is a risk of electric shock. Ninthly, comply with all applicable electrical codes and regulations. Tenthly, stay up to date on the latest electrical safety information and best practices. Proper grounding is crucial for electrical safety. Grounding provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to protect against electric shock and equipment damage. All electrical equipment should be properly grounded in accordance with the National Electrical Code. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect against overloads and short circuits. Overloads occur when too much current flows through a circuit, which can cause the wires to overheat and potentially start a fire. Short circuits occur when there is an unintended path for current to flow, such as when a wire comes into contact with a grounded surface. Overcurrent protection devices interrupt the flow of current when an overload or short circuit is detected, preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of fire. Regular inspections of electrical equipment can help to identify potential hazards before they cause an accident. Inspections should be performed by qualified electrical personnel and should include a visual inspection of wiring, connections, and equipment enclosures. Inspection should also include testing of overcurrent protection devices and ground fault circuit interrupters. Proper use of extension cords is important for preventing electrical hazards. Extension cord should only be used temporarily and should not be used as a substitute for permanent wiring. Extension cords should be properly sized for the load they are carrying and should not be overloaded. Extension cords should also be inspected regularly for damage. Working in damp or wet locations increases the risk of electric shock. When working in damp or wet locations, it is important to use ground fault circuit interrupters and to wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as rubber gloves and boots. Overhead power lines pose a significant electrical hazard. When working near overhead power lines, it is important to maintain a safe distance and to be aware of the potential for arc flash. Never touch overhead power lines with any object such as a ladder or crane. Electrical safety is a shared responsibility. Employers, employees, and other stakeholders all have a role to play in creating a safe work environment. By working together, we can reduce the risk of electrical accidents and injuries. Firstly, prioritize safety above all else. Never take shortcuts or compromise safety for the sake of speed or convenience. Secondly, be aware of your surroundings and be alert to potential electrical hazards. Thirdly, if you are unsure about something, ask for help. Fourthly, report any electrical hazards that you see to your supervisor. Fifthly, participate in electrical safety training programs. Sixthly, use personal protective equipment when working near energized electrical equipment. Seventhly, follow lockout-tagout procedures when working under energized electrical equipment. Eighthly, be aware of arc flash hazards and take steps to protect yourself. Ninthly, use ground fault circuit interrupters in areas where there is a risk of electric shock. Tenthly, comply with all applicable electrical codes and regulations. The hierarchy of controls is a fundamental principle of safety management. It involves prioritizing control measures in order of effectiveness. The most effective control measures are those that eliminate or substitute hazards. The least effective control measures are those that rely on personal protective equipment. A hierarchy of controls should be applied to all electrical hazards in the workplace. Elimination involves removing the electrical hazard altogether. This is the most effective control measure. For example, if possible, de-energize equipment before working on it. Substitution involves replacing hazardous equipment or materials with safer alternatives. For example, use low-voltage equipment instead of high-voltage equipment. Engineering controls involve modifying the workplace or equipment to reduce the risk of electrical hazards. Examples include installing ground fault circuit interrupters and providing barriers or enclosures to prevent contact with energized parts. Administrative controls involve establishing safe work practices and procedures to minimize the risk of electrical hazards. These practices include lockout-tagout and establishing clear boundaries for approaching energized equipment. Personal protective equipment is the last line of defense against electrical hazards. It includes items such as insulated gloves, arc flash suits, and safety glasses. It is important to select personal protective equipment that is appropriate for the specific electrical hazards present in the workplace. The National Fire Protection Association, also known as NFPA, develops and publishes codes and standards related to fire and electrical safety. The National Fire Protection Association standards are widely used in the United States and around the world. The National Fire Protection Association also provides training and education programs on fire and electrical safety. The Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace, also known as NFPA 70E, is a National Fire Protection Association standard that provides comprehensive guidance on electrical safety in the workplace. This standard is widely used by employers and employees to promote electrical safety and to prevent electrical accidents and injuries. Firstly, create a safe work environment by implementing a robust electrical safety program. Secondly, provide regular training to employees on electrical safety topics. Thirdly, ensure that all electrical equipment is properly maintained and inspected. Fourthly, enforce the use of personal protective equipment when working near energized electrical equipment. Fifthly, use ground fault circuit interrupters in areas where there is a risk of electric shock. Sixthly, comply with all applicable electrical codes and regulations. Seventhly, stay up to date on the latest electrical safety information and best practices. Eighthly, promote a culture of safety in the workplace. Ninthly, learn from past electrical accidents and incidents. Tenthly, prioritize safety above all else.